It's Christmas Eve in L.A.
California.
Is Daddy coming home soon?
Well, we'll see what Santa and Mommy can do, okay?
A New York cop, John McClane, has come to see his wife.
I missed you.
Instead, he's going to have to save her.
Sit down.
Within this skyscraper high above the city, 12 terrorists have declared war.
They're about to be taught a lesson in the real use of power.
They're as brilliant
Because I am interested in the $640 million in your vault.
as they are ruthless.
And I'm telling you, you're just gonna have to kill me. Okay. We do it the hard way.
Now, the last thing McClane wants
Think, damn it, think.
is to be a hero.
Where's Holly? Hey, Tucker! Where?
But he doesn't have a choice.
What does he think he's doing?
Job.
They have already killed one hostage.
This channel is reserved for emergency calls only.
Lady, do I sound like I'm ordering a pizza?
He's inside? Who is he?
That's what you're inside.
Who are you then? You are most troublesome for a security guard.
Sorry, wrong guess, huh? Would you like to go for double jeopardy?
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, mother. You just destroyed a building. I am in charge of this situation. Well, I got some bad news for you. Come up here, then look like you're in charge of Jack. He is alone, he is tired, and he hasn't seen diddly squat from anybody down here.
Hey, pal, how you feeling?
All things being equal, I'd rather be in Philadelphia. I want blood, and you'll have it.
Only John can drive somebody that crazy.
He's an easy guy to like
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
and a hard man to kill. Bruce Willis, Die Hard.
Got invited to the Christmas party by mistake. Who knew?
I famously tried to defend the movie we're going to cover tonight as the best Christmas movie of all time and lost out to Home Alone
That's not even close.
in Town Hall.
That's not even close.
Not even close.
That's not even close.
This movie's a goddamn delight.
I mean, Home Alone. I might give that top 5.
I don't like Home Alone.
I'm not a huge fan. It's
Yeah.
not terrible, but come on.
We're gonna in
Are
the
you
next
insane?
in the next few weeks we're gonna cover 2 of my favorite Christmas movies,
There we go.
and then we're gonna watch Santa with Muscles.
Yeah. Great.
I can't.
Which is obviously my favorite Christmas movie.
Is that like a live watch thing we're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, Bill, you're more than welcome to come
I
and
would
hang out.
partake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna go over to Mike's and do it.
It should be weird and interesting. I hear the thespian Ed Leslie is in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the caliber of acting in this movie. Dare I say rivals Schindler's List.
An award was given to the hairpiece department.
Yep, of course.
We'll get to that one, but this is that movie show.
Yep, for Hulk Hogan's
For
hair.
Hulk Hogan's hair. Speaking of hair pieces, we're doing Die Hard today.
Yeah, we are, because Bruce Willis needs one.
Back when people still thought Bruce had hair.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like wrestling at that point.
Yes.
They thought it was real.
He was
and
kayfabe in the hair.
the 80s was an interesting place. They
Yes,
thought
it was.
wrestling was real and Bruce Willis had hair.
Exactly. So welcome into that movie show. Mike Wendt, Liam Stryker, Bill Neville behind the board, and we are covering Die Hard, the original Die Hard. And I made it a point to not watch the others because I'm guessing down the road I had an idea that we'll do like a month of just sequels, and I'm guessing Die Hard sequels will come into play.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah, I think that might be a fun thing where it's like kind of like what we did with when we did October and we did Halloween.
Yeah.
Or we did a bunch of the movies and it kind of ended up turning into like all of them.
The franchises.
The franchises. So maybe that's
it was
what we'll
exhausting for me.
do. Yeah, I know. Maybe that's what we'll do is we'll pick like every week will be a franchise.
Right. There we go.
Like we'll do all of Rocky.
Yeah. Because I don't see us ever getting to 5.
Yeah, no. No.
But we are covering the original Die Hard. It was released July 12th, 1988, and had a budget of $28 million.
Year before I was born.
Was that? Young bitch.
I just like bringing that up when I can.
It had a budget of $28 million. At the time, the unheard of salary of $5 million went to Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
They actually had to get approval from Rupert Murdoch, head of Fox, to get that salary for him.
That's crazy.
Came back with $140.8 million. So it made a couple bucks in the summer of '88.
Yeah.
Let's see. It was directed by John McTiernan. Screenplay by Jeb Stewart and Stephen E. D'Souza. And, of course, stars Bruce Willis, Alan Rickman, Bonnie Bedelia, Carl Winslow, and a host of others. Right off the bat, is there a better film debut than Alan Rickman in Die Hard?
No.
First movie ever.
Maybe, this is like a little bit of a technicality, but Christoph Waltz from Inglourious Bastards.
Sure.
The only caveat is that, just because I don't actually know, is Christoph Waltz was very big in Europe as a European and German actor.
But had he done any movies?
That was
even
yes.
European.
Yes.
Because see,
Alan Rickman, this was it.
He had done TV before this.
Okay, then
and
yeah.
maybe and only a handful of TV episodes.
Then yes, because Alan Rickman, this role is iconic, not only for him, but for how a sophisticated villain is portrayed. So yeah, I would have to say yes.
One of the writers on it, Stephen E. D'Souza, has a little bit of history with that movie show because he was also one of the writers on Hudson Hawk.
Oh, one of my
That's
favorite.
how that movie came to be. Him and Bruce had a kinship on this movie,
and
they went on to do Die Hard 2 and this.
That's actually kind of how one of my favorite movies of 2018 happened was Bad Times at the El Royale. Chris Hemsworth is in that movie because the director of that film was like working on Avengers and was just like friends with him.
Gotcha. Oh, that's right. Well, before we get into Die Hard, let's do that for a minute.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Little trailer drop.
Yeah, this last week.
So I can't wait.
I can't wait either.
But let's get into Die Hard.
Die Hard. So, I talked about this on last week's show.
Yes.
You were not aware that this is based off of a book.
I was not aware this was based off a book.
So, at the beginning of the movie...
Notes.
Yeah, I have notes because I had to write all this down to make sure. So, the book is actually called Nothing Lasts Forever by Roderick Thorpe.
Okay.
It is the follow-up novel to a movie called The Detective. The original movie, they adapted The Detective into a movie, and John McClane was played by Frank Sinatra. So Roderick Thorpe made Nothing Lasts Forever and was going to have Frank Sinatra play him again. And so a lot of the book actually is most of the major large set pieces are actually in the book.
So Die Hard is a remake.
So Die Hard
of a
is
Frank Sinatra movie.
Sort of. Well, they never made the Frank Sinatra sequel.
Oh.
So they made The Detective. Roderick Thorpe writes Nothing Lasts Forever.
Right.
In the idea that it's going to get turned into a movie starring Frank Sinatra, and then it never happens.
So Frank Sinatra got recast by fellow Jerseyan Bruce Willis.
Yes,
Gotcha.
Correct. And so, yeah, basically they ended up doing this. There's a couple of key major changes between the characters and the story. The name of the corporation is Klaxon Oil Company.
Okay.
And the reason why they're having a Christmas party on on Christmas Eve is because they just closed a big, huge deal in Chile to build this bridge.
So it's kind of similar.
Ellis
alludes to that.
Yeah, kind of, sort of similar. Holly is not actually John McClane's estranged wife, but his daughter. John McClane is much older in the novel as opposed to the book. And Holly's watch that we talk about plays a much larger role in the actual story because Hans Gruber is not actually Hans Gruber. He's something else Gruber, and he's more of like an Italian mafioso, but he's really a terrorist. And his plot is altruistic. So he's not there to steal the bonds, but say that he's here to be like a terrorist to like liberate a bunch of people.
Sure.
He's actually there because of that Chilean deal. And so movie plays out, or the novel plays out much like the movie does, except for the end.
Sure.
And in the end, basically Hans shoots Holly in the stomach, and as he falls out the window, grabs the watch and pulls her out as well. So
Strongest watch ever.
So she dies.
Okay.
So she dies as well. And then basically John McClane finds out that she was actually involved in a bunch of like shady dealings that had to go with this, and she wasn't.
So she deserved it.
She deserved it in the end.
As any father would feel.
Yeah, so she deserved it. But yeah, those are the main differences between the novel and the movie.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, the movie itself, and
there's no Argyle.
Okay. Right off the bat, because we are introduced to there's a couple of things that we can nitpick, but they're also dated, like the gun on the plane, smoking everywhere, etc., etc. It was the 80s. Calm the fuck down.
Yeah, right.
Argyle.
Yes.
Okay. I will buy the fact that he's a fun ex-cab driver who now is employed by a limo service.
Yeah, right.
Okay, but how long did Nakatomi hire this guy?
Oh, I know.
He pulls into the garage as if he's staying the night.
Yeah, right.
You're a limo driver. You drive him from the airport to the place. Maybe you wait around 20 minutes because you're a nice guy.
Well, so that's what he says. So John McClane goes.
No, but he was sitting there on the phone, listening to music. He never tried to get out of the garage. Hours later.
Right. But so the reason he went into the garage in the first place was because John said, hey, like he explains.
Well, I got why he went in.
Yeah.
Because, he's like, oh, yeah, if you score, let me know. And if you don't, I'll be here. I'll get you a hotel room. But hours go by. Did this guy just not have anything else to do that night?
I guess.
Because he's sitting there drinking with the teddy bear and calling girls on the phone, listening to Run DMC all night.
Yeah, so I think he basically lost track of time is basically what happens with that character.
Yeah, but again, nobody radios? It's just that was the really biggest thing for me, and it happened right away. And this is really the first time it jumped out at me this time watching.
I would also like to think that
where's his boss? Hey, bring the fucking car back.
Yeah, I would like to think that from John McClane entering to Hans Gruber entering, it's a lot longer of screen time, but in reality, might have only been like 15 minutes.
Sure.
Like I think that's the actual time we're working on.
Right.
So, because John,
that's not even the part I'm concerned with. I'm talking more where when Carl Winslow's car is getting all shot up, which is hours later.
Oh.
And they take a shot of Argyle just having a great fucking time in the garage.
Yeah, right.
And that's hours later.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
And he's like, yeah, man, this is a great party. It's like, were you at all concerned that again, does the boss want the car back? This is an Uber. It's not like Argyle owns the limo.
Right, and Argyle is not, like, it's not a Nakatomi.
No, because if he was a part of the company, he would have gone up to the Christmas party.
Right.
He's an independent contractor who stole a car.
So then who paid for the cab or for the limo?
I'm sure they just call the car service.
So Nakatomi's paying for it, right?
Yeah.
So maybe
because their logo was on the sign.
Right. So maybe they just paid for the night to drive him wherever.
Not a whore. I mean, what a weird thing to do.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, we need you to pick up, this guy from the airport, bring him to our Christmas party. Stay the night.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
What?
I don't know. I don't have a good answer.
All right.
I don't have a good answer.
Points for me.
Yeah, good job.
The Nakatomi Tower itself was the under construction headquarters of 20th Century Fox.
Okay.
And as much movie studios would do, they charge themselves rent to use it in the movie.
Yeah, of course.
Fucking vultures.
I know.
We have a $28 million fucking budget. We're going to charge ourselves part of that budget.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even it's under construction. It's not even being used.
Yeah, it's not even being used yet.
Awesome. That's how Rupert Murdoch stay rich.
That is how the rich stay rich.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't giving you nothing for free.
NYPD Detective John McClane is going to a Christmas party to meet his wife, Holly, estranged wife, excuse me. He meets a guy on the plane, tells him to do fists with his toes, which I've tried for years. Doesn't work.
Really? I would say it does.
It never calms me. It aggravates me because I'm trying way too fucking hard.
That's the first thing that I like to do, especially on long flights. Like if I'm going to like Orlando and it's like 2.5 hours, like whatever, I'm good. But the like LA 6 hour, like get to your hotel, take your shoes off, just kind of walk around the hotel rooms. That feels good. Feels amazing. after, an 18-hour flight.
I don't think I've been in a lot of hotels that have carpet, though.
Oh, really? Oh,
I want to say most of them are floors.
No, see.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't paid attention. I've tried doing it at home. It just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, well,
not
that's because you're at home.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
So we meet Holly. Find out that she's using her maiden name Gennaro as opposed to Holly McClane. Yep. And they're going up to the Christmas party on the 30th floor.
Yeah.
Which why literally everybody's there. The guy that I'm just going to nitpick the shit because it's a wonderful movie. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to nitpick.
Yeah, right. The guy walks in,
so he's like,
and he says that they're the only people there.
After John plays with his little fucking toy there,
right?
He's like, oh yeah, they're the only ones left. 30th floor. It's the Christmas party. Motherfucker, why'd you make him tap in and they get all pissed off because of the Gennaro thing?
Yeah, right.
It's just like, and also she's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, right.
She has a decent enough office that he should probably know her name. She
feels like she's Nakatomi's like right-hand person.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's how this whole thing feels.
I mean, she got a Rolex for this deal they got.
Right.
Which also, again, very quick to get a Rolex because apparently the deal happened that day.
Well,
Ellis is like, show him the watch. So Ellis, great 80s cokehead.
Oh, he is.
It's a Rolex.
He's such a dickhead. He's such a dickhead. So
we meet Ellis. He's just banging rails.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Woo! Show her the watch. It's a Rolex. You fucking bum.
Woo! Yeah. You're a dumb cop, and I'm gonna steal your girl.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's gonna try anyway.
Ellis is gonna get his head caved in.
Yeah, he is. That's the best part.
So John goes upstairs and starts. I guess she has a bathroom in her office. She has to be a big deal.
Oh yeah, no, she's a huge deal.
And again,
John alludes to it.
John's arrival is weird to me.
Yeah.
Because he really does act like he's at a hotel. Now the more I think about it, he took his shoes and socks off. He's walking around her thing in his undershirt.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas party. I know people are fucking in these offices because it was the 80s, but he's acting like he's moving in.
Right. Well, I think he's just, in the truest sense of the word, I think he's freshening up, right? Because he got off the plane.
So he was getting ready to put his shit back on.
Yeah. So I think that he had
it popped off.
I think he had another he had clothes, right? And so he was gonna change into something nicer.
But again, all that shit was in the car.
Okay. Yeah. Then fuck if I know.
Fucking Argyle.
Fucking Argyle.
Sitting there stealing the guy's bear. He didn't even bring the bear in.
No, he didn't bring the bear in.
I can't imagine that bear was for the kid.
I want to say the bear was for the kid.
It's way too big. It's bigger than the kid.
That's the point. That's the point. You look at
And again, the space they had on that plane in the overhead compartments. That was a sold-out plane. And he had a bag with a gun and a bear in the overhead bin.
Because it was pre-9/11.
Bullshit.
Pre-9/11.
Just bring everything.
You got to fly the plane before 9/11.
This is true.
I remember going to Disney World for the first time and going up to the cockpit.
Oh, everybody did. Yeah.
And it was just like, hey, you want to fly the plane?
Here's some wings.
Yeah, here's some wings.
I'm a pilot.
It's like, I am a child. I should not be sitting there in the captain's seat.
There was smoking sections of planes.
Yeah.
Which is literally just like 2 seats behind you.
Yeah, it was.
There's no section.
Yeah, no.
There's no safety there.
If you're lucky, there's a curtain.
Not even. If you're lucky, they turn their vents to going backwards so you're not getting smoke blowing in your face. But yeah, times they are changing.
They changed. They changed.
They changed.
They changed.
So,
yeah.
Some German not terrorists, maybe, kind of.
Yeah.
I do like that
Severus Snape shows up.
I do like that they made jokes about that because I didn't know the book thing, that they were actually terrorists in the book.
Yeah.
All I knew was the trailer really labeled them terrorists.
Yeah.
And then the first time they called terrorists, he's like, who the fuck said we were terrorists?
Yeah, right.
Like, dick?
Yeah.
Don't be racist.
Yeah.
Let's see. I actually have their names. Hans Gruber, obviously leader. And his heavily armed team of Carl, Tony, Franco, Theo, Alexander, Marco, Christoph, Eddie, Uli, Heinrich, Fritz, and James.
Yeah. Yep.
James was your favorite.
James is my favorite. James is my favorite.
What a hodgepodge grouping of names.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, it's like me and Rick and Tony, we all met in the Alps, and then
I'm not sure which one he was, but Vigo the Carpathian was part of their group, by the way.
Yeah,
he had the ponytail, and he was the one shooting off the thing.
Yeah, right.
I'm like Vigo.
Yeah,
it's Vigo.
It's Vigo.
Look at the buzzing of flies to him.
Yep.
That'll be part of our sequel month.
I do like when we get into the when we get introduced to them, and he's like, which one's the black guy?
Theo.
Theo's just like recapping the Lakers.
Hilarious.
And then they just shoot the security guard.
They are such subtle gamblers, by the way.
Yeah.
Like they're putting bets with each other on the Takagi murder.
Yeah.
Like literally, you see that's the final shot before John fucking makes some noise. Is whatever the blonde dancer's name is, gives Theo a buck.
Yeah.
He's like, I told you. He's like, it's not over yet.
Yeah, right.
What the fuck?
Yeah, right.
You guys are making side bets on a $600 million fucking deal here.
Yeah, right. On this heist, yeah, you're doing side bets and nonsense.
And he's coming in, he's talking Lakers, worthy to AC to Magic to blah, 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 and shoots him in the face. It's like, these guys are just having fun.
Yeah, they're
gotta respect that. If they say if you have fun doing what you do, you never work a day in your life.
So true.
There you
so
go.
True.
Even when you're terrorists.
So they take over the Christmas party. John McClane gets the fuck out of there.
Yeah,
he gets the fuck out of there.
Fuck Holly, fuck the pregnant chick, fuck Ellis. I am out.
Yeah, I am a cop. I am out. I'll figure this shit out.
Fuck shoes.
Yeah, right.
But I got my gun.
Yeah, I got my gun.
Hilarious. So yeah, he grabs his gun. Nothing else.
Yeah, right. I need shoes and a gun. And fuck the shoes.
Books it upstairs.
Yeah, and now and it's just, and now we're in it.
Yeah,
we're in it.
We are full tilt.
Yeah. So John McClane basically ends up like through shenanigans getting a radio because he murders because the lines are cut. He can't get out. And that's
it's the ho ho ho. I have a shotgun bit.
The ho ho ho.
Machine gun.
I have a machine gun. Right.
Yeah. So
because he kills Carl's brother.
So we get let's see. So they do their little Hans Gruber does this little bad guy thing where he's given the bio of Takagi.
Yeah.
Takes him upstairs, shows off his models, his nice suit. John Phillips. Got to myself. Fucking Alan Rickman is a genius in this.
He is so good.
Does the I'm gonna count the 3-bit. That's where we had the side bets happening. Right. Boom, shoots him in the face. By the way, if I was trying to get a picture of that to post, but I missed it and I didn't feel like going back. But I did pause it just as the bullet was going through. It was a great fucking effect.
Really?
Paused because they cut very quick.
Yeah.
But Takagi's head exploding, like if you pause it just right, is a beautiful effect.
Okay.
Another fun fact is they had to do quick cuts. One of the reasons they probably did that, they had to do quick cuts every time Alan Rickman shot a gun because he would instinctively flinch.
Oh, okay.
He was one of those guys, and you can kind of see it when he comes running out of the office after killing Ellis and starts firing the gun up into the air. First of all, very theater way to do it.
Oh yeah,
he's almost line dancing with the fucking gun.
Yeah,
but you can see him kind of flinching.
Yeah. Well, he's also used to using wands, so
there is that.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of very classically trained terrorists.
Yeah, right. Classically trained, very Tony Award-winning terrorists.
So we get
the machine gun. We get the
radio because he falls down steps and gets the cigarettes.
I love how stupid the LAPD dispatchers are with the radio, where clearly this person, the first words out of John McClane's mouth on that channel is
Mayday,
Mayday, Mayday, and they're like, "Sir, this is a police channel." It's like, are you stupid? What of this person? It's not like this person is just like trying to have a conversation. He clearly goes Mayday, Mayday. You think that they would know, like, oh, this person knows what he should be saying.
This was also this was one of the joys of not having social media or the internet or anything, because the average moviegoer didn't really know.
Right.
So to us, this is how the police dispatchers were.
Right.
Unfortunately for police dispatchers, they were just labeled as stupid.
Yeah, right.
Now we have knowledge that this isn't how it really goes.
No.
We've seen shows like The Wire. You know?
Yeah, right. Right. Or every single recording ever. They treat everything as serious as a heart attack.
Right.
You know, like, have you heard? There's one floating around the internet right now about a guy who took LSD and thought his hands were knives.
Oh, fun.
And so he's on 911 talking about his hands, how they're knives. And he's talking with the police dispatcher. And she basically talks him down. And like, he's like, are you sure? Are you sure your hands aren't hands?
These two were just so annoyed.
Yeah, and they were so annoyed. And I love his response. Does it sound like I'm trying to order a pizza?
The one-liners were fantastic, especially as a kid in the 80s. John McClane's one-liners were wonderful.
Perfect, yeah.
No fucking shit, lady. Does it sound like I'm ordering a pizza?
Yeah, right.
Wonderful.
And so, yeah, and of course, they don't take this terrorist threat seriously at all.
No, they send a fire truck.
They send a fire truck and they send a cop car.
And then call it off.
Right, and it just loops around, and that's it.
Yeah.
I think they send the cop to the door, and they're like, hey.
Oh, are we at Carl Winslow already?
Well, we haven't gotten to. I think there's another cop, right? Or is it
no,
just
no.
Carl?
They send the fire trucks, and maybe there was a couple cop cars. But
they drive by,
but they call it off. They turn around before they even get to the plaza. Because remember, he was up high, and he's all excited, and he's like, "Come on, yeah, come on," and then they just fucking turn around. He's like, "What the fuck?"
Right. Yeah.
What am I gonna do? Oh, I guess I'll throw a body out the window.
I guess I'll throw a body out the window at the cop car. Yeah, because Carl Winslow goes and checks it out after buying Twinkies.
Hilarious.
Which is great. His character, I really like his character in this movie. He humanizes John McClane in a way that really, really helps.
Right.
Because John McClane if Carl Winslow's character is not in this movie.
I love that we just reserved to just call him Carl Winslow.
Look, he's the guy from Family Matters, and he's playing a cop. It's Carl Winslow.
Same as character he played in Ghostbusters.
Yeah, and so
I swear he has his own uniforms.
Yeah, he just does. Well, what he
Are
does,
we doing a New York or an LA cop? Okay, cool. Chicago this time? Oh, cool.
Oh, cool. I got it. No problem. Formals, not formals? Okay, I got it. But he humanizes him because this could easily just turn into a cowboy western where John McClane's running around shooting guns and blowing stuff up. But the character moments between the two, definitely helps, build the person of John McClane.
Right.
And that's ultimately what I think makes Die Hard such a classic because, you look at movies like The Expendables, right? And I'm Barney, who you're going to look at me like, I don't know who that is. That's the name of Sylvester Stallone's character. And you don't know anything about him because it
took a second, but yeah, I remember.
There's no humanizing moments to any of those characters. And so you don't connect with them. And it's just boom, boom, shoot, shoot, fun.
Oddly enough, and this is going to sound weird, the director's cut of The Expendables does have a little bit more backstory for the guys.
Yes.
And I did enjoy that more than just the standard action movie.
Yeah.
Because it gave a couple of the guys a little bit more story. I actually like the score better, to be honest.
Yeah. Jason Statham's character is the only one in the theatrical cut that actually gets some sort of...
Yeah, like we got a whole backstory on... Randy Couture. No, is it Randy Couture in it?
Yeah, Randy
His
Couture.
ears.
Yeah.
There was a whole backstory on cauliflower ears. It's like...
Right.
I mean, granted, I understand why it was cut.
Yeah, right.
The average audience, but I'm like, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, right. But that's what makes this movie so great. Sure. What makes Die Hard so great is those moments, and then finding out that Carl Winslow killed a kid by accident.
Right.
And, he's really torn up about that. Then that comes back later. Everything gets paid off.
Sure.
Everything gets paid off very nicely. The watch.
We didn't need sequels.
Yeah, we didn't.
Didn't need sequels. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th on the way. 5 fucking sequels.
Yeah.
Ugh.
A 5th on the way?
Yeah. McClane. The origin stories of John McClane.
Oh, it's going to be the detective.
I guess.
It'll just be the...
Bruce, I've heard basically the script they got written, Bruce Willis is going to be in it, but as like he's telling the story. Okay. He's almost narrator. Old man Loganish.
So it would be really, really cool if it's the detective. That would be really like the original Roderick Thorpe. Like that's the tale. I guess. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, I think the original title was Die Hard Year 1.
Okay.
But now it's just been called McClane because that's what people do now.
Yeah.
Creed, Balboa.
Yeah. Stupid.
Rambo. Which, they're filming another Rambo.
Yeah, of course.
Rambo 5.
Yeah. Talk about a character that took a really, really weird left turn.
Yeah. I mean, I love we are just really getting down ADD Street.
Yeah, we are.
Let's not do Rambo.
Yeah, it's early.
Let's not.
We'll
I have thoughts, but let's not do Rambo.
We'll go down. I do think the terrorist plan is very, very smart. Hans Gruber's plan because he's going to go in, act like he's a terrorist because the cops are going to just do the playbook of a terrorist playbook, which again, very smart.
Right.
He's going to have a bunch of hostages. He's going to demand a helicopter on top of the roof, and then he's going to blow up the roof, killing everybody. And then while they're trying to sort it out, they brought their own ambulance, and they're all going to sneak out in the ambulance.
Hilarious.
And because they're blowing up the top of the roof, or the top of the building, it's going to demagnetize.
As opposed to the bottom of the roof.
Yeah, You know,
sure.
But the thing is what he really wants to do is actually blow up the middle of the roof,
right?
In order to really achieve what he wants. But by blowing up the roof, he's going to trigger the final lock to unlock in the safe so that he can get the bail bonds.
No.
That's not it?
Nope. They were blowing the roof to basically
for the escape.
For the escape, because as he said, when you steal $600, it's very easy to disappear. But they will find you if you steal $600 million unless they think you're dead.
Yeah.
So the idea was to blow the roof with all the fucking hostages and make the illusion that everybody blew up on the roof during the escape. See, they were never going to get on the helicopter. They were going to blow the roof with the helicopter.
Oh, so
because they already had the bonds at that point. The final trigger for the vault was the city shutting down the electricity.
Oh, that's right. So that was it.
That opened up the power grid.
Yeah,
or opened up the vault when they shut down the power grid.
That's right. I knew that they needed the power to get cut, and I thought it was something a little bit more than just cutting power to the building. And all right, makes sense.
Let's see. So yes, part of his terror plot also. Gotta love Hans Gruber. The following people are to be released from their captors. In Northern Ireland, the 7 members of New Provo Front. In Canada, the 5 imprisoned leaders of Liberté de Quebec.
Yep.
In Sri Lanka, 9 members of the Asian Dawn movement.
Yes.
I read about them in Time magazine.
That's my favorite one.
Fucking Alan Rickman.
I read about them in Time. He's just the funny part
because
is
Carl is sitting there like, Asian Dawn?
Yeah, he just looks at him like, I don't know.
Read about them in Time magazine.
Yeah.
And the news reporters actually are much more more intuitive than the fucking cops. Because they have Hans Gruber's picture and name. Meanwhile, the captain there, the principal from fucking Breakfast Club, is still dicking around on the radio.
Yeah, the dickhead captain.
He's still fucking around with these guys. Meanwhile, the news is like, it's Hans Gruber.
Yeah,
this guy.
Yeah, it's this guy. Well, in the book, the John McClane is actually talking to the media as well.
Oh, okay.
So he's like giving them play-by-play updates as to like what's happening.
And William Atherson plays Richard Thornburg. Fantastic role, who actually gets to come back in the sequel.
Yes.
Plays the foil to Holly Gennaro. What else has he done? He was Walter Peck in Ghostbusters. That's where everybody knows him from.
Yeah.
Where he also played quite the dick.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
No.
We'll do Ghostbusters 2 another time.
Yeah.
God damn. Mornings.
Yeah. ADD
Fucking
mornings. ADD mornings.
Trying to get this coffee down so I have some attention. All right. So we shoot up Carl Winslow's car. We've done that.
Yep.
He has a bag containing C4 explosives.
Yeah, and so
C4 plastique. Got it in New Jersey.
And so, yeah, the whole thing is like I said.
That was a Cadillac Man reference for you kids out there. Google it.
The whole thing is basically they're trying to get the cops to do the terrorist stuff so that they can get the bail bonds.
Who says it? One of them, it's either McClane or somebody. Somebody actually says it. Yeah, they're taking the terrorist playbook and doing it page by page.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what Hans and his group want.
It's John McClane.
Okay.
He deduces that that's what's happening because that's what he ends up. He ends up doing that when they try to storm the building.
Right.
And so in order to try and because everybody gets
first move battering ram.
Yeah, right. And so everybody, they like have the SWAT team pinned down because they blew up with the rocket launcher.
Great line by Theo. Oh, the LAPD has an RV.
Yeah, right. And so he ends up. That's why he ends up blowing up that floor.
Right, because they're just launching rockets into this fucking thing.
Yeah, and
plenty of cops on fire.
Yeah, everybody, and he's trying to save them. So, yeah, the funniest thing is when at the end of that he goes, Thornburg goes, John McClane, you need to back down or whatever. He goes, I wasn't the one that just got butt fucked on national TV.
That wasn't Thornburg. That was the principal from Breakfast Club.
Yeah, yes.
What the hell is his name? So we can just give him something.
Oh,
okay. Yes, and it plays very well into that joke. Deputy Police Chief Dwayne T. Robinson. Yes.
Dwayne.
I'm not the one who just got butt fucked on national TV. Dwayne.
Yeah.
Great Argyle punch there, too.
Yeah.
Because he's listening on the CB.
Yeah.
Which at this point, okay, fine. I don't mind Argyle being in the garage at this point.
Well, they closed the gates.
Yes. At this point, I get it. He's the only one with a CB, so he's having a nice little radio party for himself.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't explain why he's fucking there.
Right.
I still stand by my stance in the beginning of the movie.
The only reason
he shouldn't be there.
The only reason he's there is for plot convenience at the end.
And to punctuate jokes.
And to punctuate jokes.
Butt fucked on national TV, Dwayne.
Dwayne.
So also here, he grabs a C4, straps it to a computer monitor, and sends it down an elevator shaft. I see him putting pins in, and I've seen people in movies put pins in.
I can't begin.
I don't know, and I'm sure if I Googled it, I would find some anarchist cookbook that would tell me how to make C4.
You would also be on a list.
But John McClane, New York detective, knows exactly how to activate C4.
So now in the novel, he is a World War I veteran. 2 veteran? 1 or 2? He is a veteran of one of the world wars.
I don't buy that our John McClane is even in Vietnam.
No, yes. So that set piece is lifted from the... That set piece is lifted.
Okay.
So it makes more sense that he would understand explosives.
See, okay, so the book, the fact that there was source material is making Hudson Hawk make a lot more sense. Because the same writer of Die Hard wrote Hudson Hawk.
Yeah.
And Die Hard is worlds better.
Yeah, it's because he had
a book to copy.
He had a script. He had a like a template to copy.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's that would be why. That would be at least my guess is that it might have been like TNT, but he had handled TNT in the war, so we knew how to handle it then. And then we just make it, 80s topical, and it's C4.
C4 plastique.
Yeah. Because I have no idea what the pin does.
I don't know, but every time in the 80s, there was a lot of C4 in action movies, and they always stabbed those pins in. And he even does a thing where he stabs 2 pins in, and then he literally goes, fuck it, and stabs 2 more, as if more pins makes bigger explosions.
Yeah. Because I would think that...
Don't Google C4.
Don't actually Google C4.
Absolutely not. Google it at your house.
Yeah.
How to activate C4.
Don't worry, Bill. Use an incognito tab.
Oh, yeah, okay.
you know what? Those of you out there listening or watching... Google C4 and tweet us how it works.
What I would think,
your browser.
What I would think is that
use a work computer.
Use a work computer. The pins would have a wire connecting to them.
Yeah,
and you would use an electric current.
Well, they kept saying the detonators,
right?
But he never used a detonator. He just pushed the motherfucker down, and then it blew up.
Yeah,
nothing set it off. There was no fire. He didn't shoot at it. Nothing. Like action movies tell me, you have to shoot a gun at a gas tank for it to blow up.
Yeah, epically.
Right.
So
nothing happened. He just pushed a computer and a chair down a fucking elevator shaft, and boom, everybody's covered in glass.
Yeah, and everybody's dead.
Yeah. So, and we get our first, who gives a shit about glass?
Yep.
Foreshadowing.
Yep. So then after that, Alan Rickman, the head terrorist, Hans Gruber, decides to take matters into his own hands, and he's going to track down John McClane, pretending to be a party guest.
Yeah, I think it's partially that. It's also I think he was trying to somehow, because McClane had the detonators. Right. That was the big thing throughout the thing. He's got the detonators. He's got our detonators.
Yeah, he's got our detonators.
I want to say he was either trying to rewire or do something, because he was up at the roof and he was checking the wires, and John stumbled upon him.
That's right.
Now he had conveniently planted himself a gun somewhere.
Yeah, right. Well, the weird part is hey, why is Hans there?
Right.
Well, why isn't one of the other people there?
Well, there was very few at this point, and I think
Yeah.
they were all looking for him.
Yeah.
So they were spread out over many floors. Fun fact: this was one of the almost the only scene in the movie where it was not rehearsed.
Okay.
They just put Alan Rickman and Bruce Willis and said go because they wanted that almost
awkward
improvising because they are lying to each other type of thing, and that's what they accomplished.
Yeah. It works out pretty well.
Yeah.
I think this is where he finds out about. No, he's already found out about Holly. No, right?
No, it's after they meet because
Yeah.
he didn't know what John looked like, and then when he finds out about it, it's because he lifts up the picture
and it's a
sees
family
John.
photo.
Yeah, because he has to
Yeah.
meet him to know what he looks like.
That's right. That's
Otherwise,
right.
it's just some
guy.
some
Right.
dude. It's like, all right, cool, she's married.
Yeah, she's married. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
We definitely have killed Ellis at this point, though.
Yeah, we've definitely killed Ellis.
Yeah.
Ellis is dead.
Hans Bube.
Yeah, Hans. Yeah, Sprechen.
Sprechen Sie talk, right?
Sprechen Sie talk. I can eat these Euro trash for breakfast. Like,
Let me just do a bump. All right, Hans, put the gun away, babe. It's radio, not TV. Oh, I fucking love Ellis.
yeah, Ellis, and the guy from Beverly Hills Cop that's in Gremlins.
Guy from Beverly Hills Cop that's in Gremlins.
Yeah, he was also in the Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Judge Reinhold?
Judge Reinhold. Yeah,
He's not in this movie.
no,
He's in
was
Gremlins.
He's in Gremlins. Those two, Ellis and Judge Reinhold. They're such 80s dickheads.
Oh, okay.
In these two movies that they would be best friends.
Okay, now I see what you had to walk around the map to get there, but I
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
Very cool.
It would have helped if I could have remembered Judge Reinhold.
Right. Okay, so we killed Ellis. We've blown up the place. I was gonna say hotel, but it's just an office.
Yeah, we're gonna blow up the roof, but John McClane does it first.
Yep.
And he jumps out. He just jumps out.
Well, we get the great shoot the glass scene.
Yep.
That's after they meet. So Hans and John meet. He hands him a gun with no bullets.
Yeah.
Because he made him.
Yeah.
Then the reveal. The elevator opens up. Shootout with Carl, Hans, and John.
Yep.
And he says some Scheiße, and of course nobody speaks fucking German.
Yeah, right.
Even though they're German.
Yeah, right.
Shoot the glass.
Shoot the glass.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, just
Pulling wedges of glass out of the bottom. Oh, it's just like, God, that's fucking horrible.
That is awful. That's brutal.
But that pays off the who gives a shit about glass line.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and so basically more shenanigans. They find out that that Holly's married to John, and that ends the final confrontation.
Now she's collateral.
Yeah, and so Hans is going basically come and bargain for your wife's life.
Kind of. Yeah, and we get of course the FBI guys, Johnson & Johnson, know the other one.
Yep.
All right, let's spend a minute talking about Johnson & Johnson.
Great baby oil.
So, okay.
Oh, not that one?
Not that
Okay.
one. Not the baby safe shampoo.
Yeah. I like the powder. The powder's nice.
It is. It's good after a good shave in the balls.
Yeah, right. Get nice baby powder. Yeah.
But so he gets on the phone, which is I believe it's Richard Avi Richard Davi is the actor. He was he owned the strip club in Showgirls, but he's that character actor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he gets on the phone and he goes, "It's Special Agent Johnson." No, the other one. Did the person on the phone say the black one?
Yeah, of course.
He would have to because
He had to.
the other one.
I mean,
I get the joke, but it makes the person on the phone who's talking to an FBI agent sound massively racist.
Yeah, it would either be that or it's like
or he said
Mike Johnson and Jamal Johnson, and he goes, "This is Jamal," and he goes, "No, the other one."
Okay, Robert Davi is the actor's name. I didn't know their first names until this very fucking moment.
Okay.
You're gonna love them.
Was I close with Mike and Jamal?
No. Grandel Bush is the other Johnson. That's the actor's name. So Robert Davi, the white Johnson, is FBI Special Agent Big Johnson. And the other one, the black Johnson,
Yep.
FBI Agent Little Johnson.
That's
Swear to God.
That's so funny.
Big and Little Johnson.
Yeah. Yep.
Yup. That's where we're at.
Good job, 80s.
So did the guy on the phone
Are you the Big Johnson or Little Johnson?
say that was it okay, I want you to tweet at us on this one what you think the guy on the phone said to Special Agent Johnson. Did he say the black one or did he say the little one?
Yes.
Are you the Little Johnson or the Big Johnson?
Are you Little Johnson?
Or are you the Black Johnson or the White Johnson?
Ooh.
At Mike Wendt, at Liam NAI, Bill Neville NAI. Moving along, so we get the helicopter because they're making all their demands.
Right, and he's shooting at him.
There's the Asian Dawn bit in there.
Yeah, they're gonna blow. He blows up the roof and jumps out with a fire hose.
Right. So the plan was to blow the roof with the FBI on top of the roof with the helicopter, the hostages, create a diversion, get the fuck out of there in the mess.
Yeah, use a ambulance that they brought.
That they brought in the back of a truck.
Yeah.
Little did they know John McClane would be on the case.
Yeah. Oh,
with one of their machine guns. Ho, ho, ho. And yes, it's a Christmas movie, kids. So he's trying to get the hostages off. Why no one's listening to the crazy guy with no shoes, I don't know.
I know.
He has to actually start firing the gun over their heads for the fucking idiots to run downstairs.
Right.
He's literally screaming, get off the roof, it's going to blow up.
Oh, I know.
What?
Well, nobody listens to John McClane in this movie.
I don't care.
Hey, there's terrorists at the Nakatomi Plaza. That's a prank phone call. It's like,
fuck this guy. Where are your shoes?
Yeah. Right. Look, I have a policy. I don't trust people that don't wear shoes.
Your shirt is filthy, sir.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that? This is a Rolex, by the way.
Yeah. Sir, I don't know if you know this, but you're wearing what we will affectionately call in about 20 years a wife beater because of a show that is probably on the air next year. His Cops, and everybody that's on Cops wears that shirt when there's a domestic abuse dispute.
Yeah, they're good. Fucking wife beaters. Anyway, so they start firing off. Another classic one-liner is the. I'm just gonna go with it. Big Johnson is very excited, yelling just like Saigon, and we get the I was in junior high, dickhead.
Yeah, right.
Little Johnson.
Little Johnson.
God damn, I'm never gonna get that out of my head now.
So yeah, Little Johnson.
Big and little motherfuckers.
So we get to the climax of the confrontation between Hans Gruber and John McClane.
Yes.
He has Holly at gunpoint, and
John gift wraps a gun to his back.
Right. So that
as you do.
Just because he.
I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
First of all, I was doing this while I was watching. I was trying to
figure out
how you finagle the tape and the gun, and you make sure it holds. And he quick draws the shit out of that. There was no ripping of tape. There was no,
it's really stuck. Yeah. I don't know.
Again, we're nitpicking a wonderful movie.
Yeah. I don't know. But he ends up shooting Hans Gruber. Hans Gruber starts to fall out the window. He grabs Ellis's watch that he gave to Holly.
Mm-hmm.
And
would the watch be the MacGuffin?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would it would be a MacGuffin in this scene, I guess.
Or would the detonators be the MacGuffin?
The detonators are the MacGuffin in this.
Okay. I'm always curious about that.
Yeah, it's mostly like foreshadowing because this is something that's teased in the beginning.
Right.
That Ellis.
This is like the Who Gives a Shit About Glass, and he steps on glass.
Yeah, right. Because it's a Rolex. It's in the book.
You just thought Ellis was being a cunt. No, he was actually talking about how wonderful this watch is. Strongest watch ever.
Strongest watch ever. It
holds a grown man by a fucking window.
Yeah. Again, in the book, he grabs this as he falls out the window, and Holly actually goes with her.
That would make more sense.
Right. And John McClane isn't able to grab her.
Gotcha.
But then you also find out that it's a representation of her shady dealings within the company. And so, I mean, you could even say that it's kind of like a metaphor where it's like, she was kind of pigeonholed into this company that might have had like shady dealings or whatever. And it's her absolving of those, maybe, if you want to go like, film nerd, artsy, mise-en-scène situation. Sure. So John McClane ends up, undoing the watch and Hans falls.
Look, I wear watches. they're not easy to undo when they're on your arm. Never mind having a 200-pound man hanging off of it.
Yeah, right. While you're holding your
wife, hoping her hand doesn't just pop off.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, let's talk
about the physics of Die Hard.
Yeah, so let's just assume that watch can hold, right? Are you telling me that her thumb wouldn't be dislocated and just slide off?
No, of course not. It's a wonderful watch.
All right.
Strongest watch
You're
ever.
Right. So
it's a protective watch.
Yeah. And so then the final payoff of the whole thing is that Carl Winslow ends up saving the day right at the end when, is it Carl the terrorist?
Carl, yeah.
Carl the terrorist.
Ballerina in real life.
Really?
Yep.
Good for him.
It's a classically trained ballerina.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Who we thought was dead the whole time. Comes back for one last
because John
scare.
hung him by a chain.
Yeah.
This dude's a badass. How you get out of that? Like, he legit hung the dude.
Oh, yeah. Yes. And then, like, slid him along a wall or something.
So he's hanging on a wall just by his neck.
Yeah.
No, I'm cool.
Yeah, no big deal.
I got down. I got another gun.
Yeah.
What?
I'm going to just murder everybody.
Yep.
And Carl Winslow, who we found accidentally shot and killed a kid, redeems himself because he's like, I could never fire a gun again, so now I ride a desk.
Shocking.
Yeah, right.
Shocking when a screaming man with a machine gun that looks like death is pointing the gun at you, you're able to shoot a gun.
Right.
You're able to do your fucking job, Carl Winslow.
I also think it's a low-key, just like play that Carl Winslow killed Urkel.
Well, yeah, kind of.
That's the kid he killed.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see. Yeah, I took a second to process.
But yeah, so he saves the day and murders him, and then Argyle gives the great line of, if this is your Christmas, I gotta be there for a New Year's Eve.
Fucking Argyle. We also get the punching of the news reporter Thornburg, which then sets up the sequel.
Yes.
And her restraining order there.
Yeah.
Because she knocked out at what she says 2 of his teeth or something like that on national TV. Blah 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 blah. And we end with what? Fucking Winter Wonderland?
Yeah,
is that the
something
song?
like that, I think.
And a very Christmassy type of song.
Yeah, to tie together the themes of togetherness and family.
Yeah, as you do.
You do.
It's a fucking Christmas movie, people.
Oh, man, this
accept
fucking movie.
Accept it. It's a wonderful one.
Yeah,
I'm glad we were able to
it's a
pick
light.
this one. Die Hard. That is Die Hard. On
Die Hard.
Die Hard. The wacky movie. Die Hard. Yes, and we never even once brought up Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
I know.
There we go. Coming up next week on That Movie Show, another holiday favorite, Gremlins. This one I always overlook.
So I hadn't seen this. I had not seen this movie recently, and
I haven't seen it in years.
Yeah.
Years.
Yeah, and we'll get into it.
Yeah. So Gremlins coming up next. Thanks for joining us on That Movie Show for Die Hard. Mike Wendt, Liam Stryker, Bill Neville. You can follow us all on social media, wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe to New Age Insiders Pop so you can get That Movie Show dropped into your podcast every single Monday. Archives, video and audio at newageinsiders.com. Tell your friends, tweet at us what you want us to cover coming into January. Okay, we'll see you next week with Gremlins.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.